What is up, all you asshats out there in the asshat stratosphere listening and watching at Asshat Podcast? This is the Fairchild with a very quick review. I am here to talk about the death of the AEW Jazzwares toy line. And for wrestling fans, this was a great period of time from 2020 to 2025. AEW was putting out some banger, like really incredible action figures that, in my opinion, surpassed the WWE Mattel toy line with the elites, definitely with the basics. I mean, basic figures from the WWE toy line are trash. They've always been trash. Really only collectors buy them or parents because they don't want to pay the $25 for an elite figure that's going to have most of the same posability issues, even though it's an elite figure. And Jazzwares with AEW, most of the figures I always got from here, probably 90% of the figures I got from here were very easy to bend. Butterfly, just, nice and smooth joints and stuff. I would say, probably not all of their faces were perfectly done, but they were done well enough. I can tell who the characters are, who they're supposed to be, especially if you're a wrestling fan, because we're the ones who bought this stuff. I know that I filled my wardrobe full, and it really, honestly, it spiked my collecting again. I hadn't been buying figures for probably a good 5 or 6 years, and then the AEW toy line came out, and I got my hands on an AEW action figure, and I thought, wow, this is something I would have definitely played with as a kid if this was around, because when I was a kid, we had the WCW toy line and the WWF at the time, Jack's Pacific toy line. So yeah, that was some good times, and you could mix and match those too. You could, and it's pretty much the same way. You can mix and match, do wars and stuff. My nephews love to come over and do Survival Series, AEW versus WWE all the time. And so here's the mail drawer here. Just they put out so many figures of people that probably will never have an action figure made of them, and probably never would have had one made of them if they had not been in AEW. And I am a guy who, I say I'm a collector. I'm more so a guy that I buy for personal use and stuff. So I don't really have but like one of each figure. Like every figure you see is the figure that I have that built the locker room. I just had to get one of every AEW wrestler that I was a fan of and that I liked, and also that I just had never seen in an action figure form. That, I mean, I've brought this up before, I think, in other videos, but like Stu Grayson will never be seen again as an action figure, especially an action figure this incredible, this well done. They put a lot of love into that line when they did the Dark Order line, and we'll never see any of those guys as action figures again unless they somehow end up in WWE. And that's the other thing too. I don't think that anybody else is going to be around unless Ringside does it. I don't think there's going to be anybody that picks up the licensing and stuff to do AEW action figures anymore. I think we're the end of an era. I don't think we're going to have AEW action figures anymore unless they start doing it themselves, or like Ringside, and they sell them online. But I think we're done with seeing AEW toys on the shelves, and I think it's only a matter of time before we're completely done seeing WWE toys on the shelves too, because let's be honest, guys, those things don't fly off the shelves either. I know AEW figures would sit on a shelf for ages and ages and ages, and they're still on the shelves today, those that are still hanging. But like I said, I was lucky enough to get in when the time was good. I was able to get plenty of good figures at a very good low rate, because that was the other thing too. AEW Jazzwares figures, pretty much with the one single figure they released, they gave you everything you could possibly want with that figure, and didn't really leave you needing much more. But WWE always left you wanting more. Like, you would take a figure out of the box, it would be horrible. Just terrible. But anyways, I've rambled on about that part a little too much. AEW Jazzwares RIP. It was very fun while we had you. Hopefully somebody else will pick up the AEW toy line. So many other talented wrestlers in that roster that I would still like to really see action figures of. But yeah, like the pricing issue. We had these figures on the shelves for, I think it was like $21 after taxes. And with the WWE Mattel, it would be $25 after taxes. So, I mean, you're getting an equally good, or if not better, figure for quality, for play, for posability, and stuff like that. And you're saving a little bit of money. And most of the time, most of the time you would find these things on the clearance shelf, like within a week or two of being in the store. And then sometimes they would have them sit on the shelf at full price forever until they would go to some retail shop. But anyways, RIP AEW Jazzwares. Maybe hopefully you guys get picked up by somebody. But if not, again, like I said, it was fun while we had you. Helped me get back into collecting figures for a little bit. Definitely am not disappointed with anything. I can't say that I missed out on not being able to get something. And of course, they're still available online. You can always go online and order these things and collect them for yourself or get them for your kids, whatever you want. And, I can't remember if I did this or not, but this is the men's shelf, but they also had a lot of females additions to their AEW toy line. I was lucky to get a few. There's some out there that I don't have, but, maybe if I might pick up a few. There's a few of them out there that I still want. The Willow Nightingale looked like it was going to be a nice figure. Maybe the Mariah May, maybe, but other than that, I'm not really interested. I've pretty much got what I need. So, like I said, it was a fun time while it lasted, 2020 to 2025. And another question: how much longer do you guys think we'll see WWE figures on the shelves in general? I mean, I know that they can afford to keep putting them out, but eventually the stores are going to not want to continue to have them on the shelves because they just take up space that could be used for other things. But anyways, that's just an idea. You guys tell me, what was maybe one of your favorite action figure reveals from AEW Jazzwares back in the day? What was your favorite to add to your collection? And if you like the video, give it a like, share, subscribe, all that other bull crap. I'm the Fairchild, and I am out.